Good morning, students. Today, from your book Footprints Without Feet, we are doing third chapter, The Midnight Visitor, written by Robert Arthur. Robert Arthur was an American writer of mystery and speculative fiction. His fame rests on the Mysterious Traveler radio series and his Three Investigators series of novels. His stories were published in many magazines between 1930 and 1940. He also wrote mystery books for children. He was twice honored by the Mystery Writers of America with his writing partner Edgar. So let's read the story The Midnight Visitor. Ausable did not fit any description of a secret agent. Now there are three characters in this chapter. One is Ausable, who is a secret agent. Other is Fowler, who is a writer, and the third is Max, who is again a rebel secret agent. So it says Ausable did not fit any description of a secret agent Fowler had ever read. Now Fowler, who is a writer who had come to meet Ausable, was very expectant of meeting a secret agent, but when he sees Ausable, he does not fit. Ausable does not fit the description of a secret agent. Now, students, the minute I say secret agents, you might be having many imaginary, a smart, young looking detective and who is gun friendly and who is surrounded by mysterious people, dark eyed beauty, something that you might have seen in James Bond movie or any other movie or a serial. So, Fowler says what? Ausable does not fit the description of a secret agent. Following him down the musty corridor of the gloomy French hotel where Ausable had a room, Fowler felt let down. Now Fowler is following Ausable to his room, and this room is in a French hotel. And what sort of a area it is, what sort of a place it is? It is a musty corridor. That is, some sort of a smell is coming. And it is gloomy, it is cheerless, because he was expecting some thrill happening with the life of secret agent and all, but then it was very cheerless, it was dull. And Fowler is following Ausable to his room, and he is let down. He is very disappointed. He had many plans to write about secret agent, to note down the stories that he would reveal, the thrill that is they are surrounded with, the secret agents are surrounded with, but then he was disappointed. It was a small room on the sixth and top floor, and scarcely a setting for a romantic adventure. And this room was on the sixth floor, and the sixth floor was a top floor of that hotel, and scarcely and hardly a setting for romantic adventure. That is, there was nothing exciting about or happening about that meeting, and especially with the room. Ausable was, for one thing, fat, very fat. Now, why was Fowler disappointed to meet a secret agent? Because when he saw Ausable, he saw a fat looking person, and a real fat one. And then there was his accent, and then the way he spoke, the style he spoke in. Though he spoke French and German passably well enough, he had never altogether lost the American accent he had brought to Paris from Boston 20 years ago. Now he can speak, Ausable can speak French and German, but then the American accent that he had learned for last 20 years, he had got that also when he speaks. You are disappointed, Ausable said wheezily over his shoulder. You were told that I was a secret agent, a spy dealing in espionage and danger. So Ausable notices this in Fowler. When he meets Fowler, he notices that Fowler is disappointed. He's dejected to meet him. He's unhappy to meet him. And he announces that you are disappointed. You're disappointed to meet me. And when he speaks, he's speaking while making a breathing sound, whistling sound comes. And he says, what? You were told that I was a secret agent. Now Fowler was told that Ausable is a secret agent, a spy who is all surrounded with mysterious people, thrill, excitement, dark ladies, messages coming on phone, on slips, many things. You can imagine how secret agent life can be with your all sorts of the movie you might have seen, so you can just think the life of a secret agent. Dealing in espionage, that is spying and danger. Now you know spy what they have to do. They have to work, like they have to get the news or things from the other countries or about the other people, so that can be helpful to them. So that people can be a politician, that people can be a people associated with underworld, or that can be anyone. So he says, you thought I was dealing in espionage and danger, that my life is surrounded with danger and guns and bloodshed and xyz. You wish to meet me because you are a writer, young and romantic, and your idea of meeting me was that you are a writer, you wanted to write something about secret agents, you wanted to write about me, and you are young, you were excited to meet me. You envisaged mysterious figures in the night, the crack of pistols, drugs in the wine. Now Oswald says that when you came to me, you might have thought you are going to meet a secret agent, and you imagine the people around, the mysterious people moving in the night. There might be a cracking of pistols, gunshots, or there might be some drugs poured in the wine. So you might have been wondering about many things that our life is surrounded. But then when you meet me, you are disappointed. Instead, you have spent a dull evening in a French music hall with a sloppy fat man who, instead of having messages slipped into his hand by dark-eyed beauties, gets only a pathetic telephone call making an appointment in his room. So it says that you had many plans to meet a secret agent about mysterious people, the thrill, the cracking of pistols, drugs, and something. You had so many things you might have been imagining, but the reality is that you are sitting in my room, and this is a dull evening. And moreover, you are sitting with whom? You are sitting with a carelessly dressed fat man. Sloppy means carelessly dressed. And you might have thought some messages might be coming to me from the mysterious, dark-eyed, beautiful women, but then that did not happen. What you get is that I'm receiving a phone call, a pause it, that is a routine full telephone call of having an appointment in my room. You have been bored, and I'm sorry that your plans have shattered. You are bored to sit in my company because there's no thrill and excitement. The fat man chuckled to himself as he unlocked the door of his room and stood aside to let his frustrated guest enter. So, the fat man, that is Oswald, chuckled to himself. He's laughing quietly to himself. Why is laughing? Because Fowler had imagined many thrills and excitement, but all were shattered. As he unlocked the door of his room, he's unlocking the door of his French hotel room, and stood aside, and he moved by the side to let his frustrated guest enter. Frustrated, that is Fowler. And why frustrated? He was disappointed because he had many figures, imaginations regarding secret agent, and that have spoiled. It was nothing thrilling, exciting happening about the secret agent. So Oswald is laughing, chuckling to himself. You are disillusioned, Oswald told him. That is, you are disappointed. This Oswald tells to Fowler. But take cheer, my young friend. So he says, take cheer, be happy, my young friend. Cheer up, my young friend. Presently, you will see a paper, a quite important paper, for which several men and women have risked their lives come to me. So Oswald was talking to Fowler, and he said that you were very disappointed to meet me because I was not that smart or active mm, or aggressive or movable as you might have thought about the secret agents. But then now you cheer up, you have to be happy, you cheer up because right now a paper would come to me, and it is a very important paper. He says this paper, he says, someday soon that paper may well affect the course of history. In that thought is drama, is there not? So he says that paper will affect the course of history. It is so much important paper that men and women have risked their lives to get them. So you can understand, if people are risking their lives to get this paper, it is of so much importance, and that paper would come to me. So in that thought is drama, is there not? So he's trying to um, tell Fowler that now you can find some drama, some thrill. If I'm telling you a report or a paper is going to come to me, so now you should be happy, you should be excited. As he spoke, Oswald closed the door behind him, then he switched on the light. So, as he was speaking to Fowler, he opens the door, closes it, locks it, and he switches on the light of his hotel room. And as the light came on, Fowler had his first authentic thrill of the day. Fowler wanted what? He wanted thrill, he wanted excitement, he wanted something to happen. The minute light was switched on and there was thrill. What was the thrill? Authentic means real, genuine thrill he had. What was the thrill? For halfway across the room, a small automatic pistol in his hand stood a man. So halfway across the room there was a person, and this person was holding a pistol in his hand. Oswald blinked a few times. Oswald sees this person and he blinks. Max, he whisked, you gave me quite a start. So Oswald announces to that fellow who was having a pistol, Max, and he says, you gave me quite a start. That is, you surprised me, you shocked me. I thought you were in Berlin. What are you doing here in my room? So he says, I thought you might be in Berlin. What about, how come you are in my room when it was locked? So how are you here? Max was slender. Max was slender, that is gracefully thin, a little less than tall, with features that suggested slightly the crafty, pointed countenance of a fox. So you can understand Max, who is the other secret agent. He is crafty, is clever. Countenance of a fox, that is his cunning, cunning like a fox. There was about him, aside from the gun, nothing especially menacing. So, other than the gun, there was nothing dangerous about him. He was holding a gun in his hand. That's all. He was the only person other than Oswald and Fowler in the room. Other than that, there was nothing dangerous. The report, he murmured. So, Max announces the report. The report that is being brought to you tonight concerning some new missile. I thought I would take it from you. It will be safer in my hands than in yours. So, holding this gun in his hand, he says to Oswald that I had learnt about the report that is going to come to you. I want that report. So, he has come to Oswald's room to steal an important paper concerning some new missile. So, he says that I want that report concerning the new missile. Oswald moved to an armchair and sat down heavily. So Oswald goes, there was an armchair in that room, and he sits with a jerk. I'm going to raise the devil with the management this time, and you can bet on it. Who says? Oswald says. Oswald says what? That he's going to raise. What he's going to raise? The devil with the management. That is, he's going to strongly protest, or he's going to deal very aggressively. With whom? With the management. Which management? The management of the hotel. And what he's going to deal with the hotel management, and you can bet on it. That is, you can challenge me on it. That yes, this time I'm going to be very serious and will protest. He said grimly, he said seriously. Now, what he wants to complain to the management of the hotel. This is the second time in a month that somebody has got into my room through that nuisance of a balcony. So nuisance means that causes trouble. So he is saying, Oswald is saying this to Fowler and to Max. When he enters, he sees Max, and Max was having a pistol. So when he notices him with the pistol, he was amazed, he was shocked. So he says, I'm going to talk to management, because this is the second time somebody had entered in my room through balcony of my room. Fowler's eyes went to the single window of the room. So Fowler notices that there was a window in the room. So Fowler, noticing the window, that this person who's having a pistol in hand have entered through balcony. It was an ordinary window against which now the night was pressing blackly. So Fowler notices that a very ordinary looking window it was, and he notices that there was darkness of the night. Balcony, Max said with a rising inflection. No, a passer-key. So Max was amazed, balcony, as if he didn't know, he didn't notice. So with a change of tone, inflection means change of tone. He was surprised there's a balcony room. No, a passer-key. So Max announces that I did not come by balcony. I came through a passer key. Passer key, you can understand it as a master key, duplicate key. I did not know about the balcony. It might have saved me some trouble had I known. So Max announces to Oswald that he didn't know that there was a balcony, there was a window, balcony in this room. Otherwise, he would have come through that. He managed to get a master key of the room, and he came with that master key. It's not my balcony, Oswald said with extreme irritation. So, very irritatingly, he said that it's not my balcony. It belongs to the next apartment. He glanced explanatorily at Fowler. So, we're giving explanation. He's having a look at the Fowler and he's giving an explanation about the window and the balcony. You see, he said, this room used to be a part of a large unit, and the next room through that door there used to be a living room. It had the balcony, which extends under my window now. Extends under my window means spreads out under my window. You can get onto it from the empty room 2 doors down, and somebody did last month. The management promised to block it off, that is close it, but they haven't. Now he is telling that I am going to talk to management very serious. I'm going to protest that I have told you that this balcony, about the balcony, how somebody had entered before also, and today also Max had entered, but the management has not blocked it, has not closed it, not done nothing about the balcony. So he's giving an explanation. Where is the balcony? He says, well, this room used to be a part of a large unit, and the next room through that door there used to be a living room. So he's saying that this room, that is Oswald's room, was a part of a big flat, that is the next flat. It was a big flat. It was not 2 rooms, it was a big flat. These 2 rooms were connected through a door. The next room was the living room. That living room had a balcony. That balcony is up to my room. My room means Oswald's room. So first, earlier, Oswald's room and the other next door room was a big room, big flat, and it was connected by a door, and that room used to play as a living room and had a balcony, but the balcony stretched till his room also. Then he says what? You can get onto it from the empty room 2 doors down, and somebody did last month. So he says there is an empty room after 2 rooms. Anyone can come to the balcony from that room. Now he says what? The management promised to block it off, but they haven't. He says that the hotel management had promised that they would stop that entry in my balcony, but till now they have not done. Then it says, Max glanced at Fowler, who was standing stiffly not far from Oswald. Max notices Fowler. He was standing stiffly. Why? Because Max was holding a pistol. So very stiff he was standing. Might be scared of having pistol, though he wanted to experience the thrill of Oswald's life. So, and waved the gun with a commanding gesture. So with that gun he waves with a bodily movement gesture. He waves what he says with that gesture. Please sit down, he said. We have a wait of half an hour, I think. So Max announces to Fowler that you also sit. We have to wait for half an hour till we get the report on the missiles. 31 minutes, Oswald said moodily. So Oswald said it is 31-minute wait. The appointment was for 12:30. I wish I knew how you learned about the report, Max. So he says the appointment is at 12:30. By 12:30 I'll get my report. Then he questions Max that how did you come to know that I'm getting some report on the missiles or something that is going to change the course of history. How did you learn that? The little spy smiled evilly. So Max is smiling. And we wish we knew how your people got the report. So Max says, I wonder how your people, that is Oswald people, came to know about the report on missiles. But no harm has been done. I will get it back tonight. So he says, no harm is done. So tonight, definitely, after a wait of half an hour and so, I will get those report in my hands. What is that? Who is at the door? So Max announces there was some knocking on the door, and Max announces, what is that? What is that noise? Who is at the door?